I just like wanted to cry. And I'm even just like thinking about like the emotions that were like going through my mind at that point. I was just like, everything I was doing was not working. Hey everyone, welcome to another video of Healed and Whole. I'm Dr. Donicia, a pharmacist who had 15 fibroids removed just last year. And in today's video, I want to give you a pretty tough update on my healing journey. In August, I had to have a post-op procedure, I guess you could say. When I had my surgery in December of 2024, my surgeon said to come back in 6 months to do like a post-op checkup basically. And so this is basically when they like go back in, remove any scar tissue. He said we will double check to make sure your tubes are open and we'll just clear out anything in there that doesn't need to be in there, especially if you are family planning and all that stuff. So I didn't get to schedule it exactly 6 months after. So I scheduled it in August. I asked all my questions. I pretty much was just like, okay, what's the game plan? Like, if you find scar tissue, what are you gonna do? And he's like, we're just gonna remove it. And I was like, if my fallopian tubes are closed, what are you gonna do? He's just like, we'll have to go back through your belly button and open them up to make sure they're all good. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, and what if you find a fibroid? And he was just like, if we find a fibroid and we're able to take it out, we will take it out. And I was like, okay. I was like, what's the recovery? Because this sounds a little intense. He was like, you should be good after a day. And I was like, okay, let's see. So I went in for the surgery, well, the procedure. I had to go under general anesthesia. Like, it was pretty much similar to like what I did before. And so I remember coming out of the surgery, I just woke up and I was just so dizzy. I was just like, what is going on? And then all I see is the surgeon standing right there. He's just like, yeah, everything was good. We opened up your tubes. We removed some scar tissue. And he was like, you're good to go. And the only thing I could say was, did you find a fibroid? And he was like, yes, we did see a fibroid. However, it was really small. We weren't able to take it out in where it was, but he said it is on your lining. So it may cause some symptoms, but he said it's just something to monitor. He said it is very tiny. He's not worried about it. Although he was not worried about it, y'all, I was devastated. I was so sad. I just like wanted to cry. And I'm even just like thinking about like the emotions that were like going through my mind at that point. I was just like, everything I was doing was not working. Like I was being so hard on myself. I'm like, I'm taking all these vitamins, I'm exercising, I've changed my diet, I'm doing all the things. How did a fibroid come back? It was just really hard for me. And I felt like to like even come back on here and just be like, act like nothing happened. Like that's just not me. That wouldn't be transparent. And like, I want to share my journey with you. And although this is not what I wanted to share on my journey, this is the reality of things, right? And so I was just really like upset about that. And I was also in pain. I had to call out of work the next day because I thought I'd be fine, but I wasn't. So I had to call out because I was just in so much pain. And yeah, it was a whole thing. So then afterwards, I set up a follow-up appointment to speak with the doctor over the phone. And so I had talked to him further about the fibroid. And he was like, oh, he was just like, yeah, there was a fibroid, but he was just like, it was like a centimeter big. He was like, it was very tiny. He was just like, it's nothing that's concerning and it shouldn't even be causing symptoms. But he did say again, since it is on your lining, it may cause heavier bleeding than normal. But he was just like, honestly, I would be surprised if it did. I had told him that I haven't really been experiencing like heavy bleeding, but the period that I had before the procedure was slightly heavy. And I was like, so I just wasn't sure. And that's why I had asked about it. But he was just like, look, I'm not worried about it. He said that when I am ready to have children and like move forward with that portion of my life, then they can easily remove it, no problem, doing like just going in without having to cut me open. And so I was just like, okay. It's still not what I wanted to hear, but I was talking to my friend who's a doctor and she was like, Daricia, 1 centimeter is really small. Like tiny. And I was like, I know, but it's still there. Like, how did it come back? I don't know if it necessarily came back. Maybe it was just like a seedling that, you know, they didn't get in the surgery prior. Like, maybe it was just like super tiny, so they didn't even like take it out or what have you. But that's to just have 1 centimeter fibroid after a year or almost a year is pretty good. And I was like, okay, maybe. And so then I was like, you know, hearing other people's like testimonies and stories about how a year after their surgery, all their fibroids came back, if not worse. And so that is like, that just kind of just opened my eyes to see that, like, you know, what I am doing is doing something. You know, the vitamins, the lifestyle change, decreasing stress, like all of that is doing something, and I need to not be so hard on myself. And so when I started to like have that change in perspective, I was just like, you know what, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm doing something right. Praise God, right? Like, so that just really shifted my perspective and just helped me to realize, like, you know, what I am doing is working, because, you know, the fibroids didn't come back to the extent that I had them before. My periods are still super light. I have 0 cramps. Like, it still just blows my mind that, like, I get my period and I don't even realize it sometimes. And I'm like, oh, hello. Like, I have 0 cramps. It lasts only like a few days and that's it. So I'm just thankful because, you know, as sad as it was to hear like, oh, there is still a fibroid, I'm like, how is that possible? I also was just thankful and grateful that I wasn't in the position that I was in the year before, where I had 15, where I had, you know, crazy heavy periods, painful periods. So that's like been the update, and that's why I've been a little, am I not a little? I haven't been posting as much, but I'm back. I'm here, and let the videos keep going. I'm not going to let this like, I don't know, stop me from doing what I set out to do originally with this channel, of really just sharing my journey, being transparent, and sharing information that I wish I would have had when I was younger, even a few years ago, because I probably wouldn't have had to go through half the things that I went through in the past year. So I am here and I'm back and I'm better. And so I did make some adjustments to my vitamins and to like my diet and like all that stuff. Obviously, like, I haven't gone back to the doctor to like check the size or check anything, but I feel like, I said, I feel like my period was slightly heavier before the surgery. And it's been a few months now, and I've been taking some updated things, and I feel like it's like back to what it was before. So I don't know if it did shrink. I have no idea. I can't confirm that, but symptom wise, I feel like it did. That's the update. That's what's been going on. I'm here. I've been like trying to like filter through some of the comments and try to like answer them, respond. So if I haven't, it's because I just haven't been on here and I've just been dealing with life, and also just trying to just get myself to a point of recognizing that like I can't be so hard on myself and I have to move forward and not go backwards, right? So that's the update. I hope that this video was helpful in some way or another. If you have had fibroids removed and, you know, there's the fear surrounding like them coming back or like all this stuff, I really want to encourage you to know that that doesn't have to be your story. And I hope that my situation can show you that lifestyle changes and supplements and all these different things can help with that, like it's been helping me so far. And just to also change your perspective on things. As much as I was devastated to hear that there was a fibroid inside my uterus, I also was grateful to know that it wasn't 15 that were back inside my uterus, or there wasn't like a big one or anything of that sort. So I'm just truly, truly grateful and thankful, and I really hope that my videos can encourage you and, you know, help you on your journey to being healed and whole. So that's it for today's video. If you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, or if you want to share your story below, please, I want this to be a community where we learn and grow together to be healed and whole. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.